Today on an all-new Dr.Phill. A mother.
She drove high on heroin with your child in the car.
Claims she's 6 months clean.
She slurs her words.
I've admitted that I made mistakes.
Do you feel safe with your child being with her like that?
Is her husband?
We are as much here to wake him up as we are his wife.
Being deceived?
I just want the truth. Are you sober for the last 6 months? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you. Well, Megan says that 6 months ago, she was shocked to discover that her sister-in-law, Lindsay, was hiding a dark secret, and her brother, Chad, was covering up for her. Now, all was exposed after Lindsay was arrested for allegedly being high on heroin and crashing her SUV into multiple cars. But Lindsay wasn't alone. Her infant son was in the back seat. Now, Megan says it was only then that Chad finally came clean about Lindsay's long-term drug addiction, which includes overdosing while 3 months pregnant and the baby being born addicted.
I've told you this before. It's a disease, but you make bad choices out of it.
I had no idea that my sister-in-law, Lindsay, was a drug addict until she almost killed my nephew and herself driving high. Lindsay was in a local grocery store in the bathroom shooting up with my 9-month-old nephew present. Then she put my nephew in the backseat of the car and took off high. As Lindsay was driving, she was sideswiping, hitting multiple vehicles, and then crashing. Officers on the scene searched Lindsay. Heroin and syringes were falling out of her underwear. At the hospital, they drug tested Lindsay and found heroin in her system. When I found out, I was furious. I was ready to hurt her. Lindsay was put in jail for 3 weeks. Within a few days of Lindsay being released, she was rearrested for heroin possession again. I was beyond livid. She didn't even try to reach out to see her son. It was very clear that drugs were more important than anything in her life.
It's not me who's choosing to do those things. It's the addict in me.
After her arrest, all her secrets of drug use came out. Chad revealed to me that Lindsay OD'd twice while pregnant with my nephew. One time, her mother ended up having to do CPR on her and call the ambulance. Then the news got even worse. I found out that my nephew was born addicted to heroin. Lindsay and Chad told the family that he had to stay in the NICU because he was struggling feeding. It was a complete lie. He was in the NICU because he was going through withdrawals from being born addicted to drugs. I was disgusted, utterly disgusted. I had hate in my heart for her. Knowing everything that Lindsay has done makes me angry and sick to my stomach.
Now, Megan thought that with her sister-in-law behind bars and divorce papers filed, Lindsay was in her brother's rearview mirror once and for all. Then, just 1 month ago, after everything that happened, and fresh out of jail, Megan says Chad allowed his wife to move back in. Now, Chad's mother, Molly, says she doesn't know what's worse, a lying drug addict daughter-in-law or a son who is protecting her.
Lindsay is just a hot mess. Chad is completely blinded by his love for Lindsay and is not thinking clearly at all. I'm pissed off because she's not clean and he's turning a blind eye to this whole situation. When Chad allowed Lindsay back in his house, I about lost my mind. I was beyond infuriated.
Immediately, I called Chad and told him that he was the dumbest, smartest person that I know.
I thought to myself, what is with her? What does she have that makes him keep going back? Chad is being reckless because he's putting Lindsay for the safety of his own son. Chad goes to work and leaves my grandson in Lindsay's care all day. It worries me, it scares me. I don't trust her alone with him, without a doubt. Lindsay is a danger to my grandson.
I know I put him in those dangerous situations, but that was due out of a bad decision and choice I made from the addiction.
I cannot stand when Lindsay tells me every time I would never hurt my son, and yet she's almost killed him 3 times. The baby wasn't enough to make her stop back then. What's gonna make it change now?
Your family should focus on helping me rather than turning their backs on me.
Chad is in such denial.
My brother is making a huge mistake.
Okay, you say Chad's making a huge mistake here. Do you think he is just in complete denial here that his wife's not a danger to this child?
I 100% agree with that statement.
Do you think she's sober?
No.
How do you know?
Her actions. She slurs her words. She's, what, 60 pounds? She looks awful.
Tell me about Chad. What made him let her back into this child's life?
We need to know that question as well. I have no idea.
Let me tell you what stakes we're playing for. Chad's not listening right now. He will be in a second because I'm going to bring him out here. If he knowingly continues to allow this child to be in harm's way, to be in her presence, to be under her supervision, when in fact he knows that she's a heroin addict, when he knows that she has wrecked a car with this child in the back seat, he can be in denial all he wants, but that's child abuse, and you need to understand, I am a mandated reporter.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
And I will report this if, in my opinion,
Absolutely.
she still is impaired and he is not reacting to it. So you've got to understand,
We do.
when you have to support me here.
Oh, 100%.
Because I intend to wake him up.
Oh, please do.
Negligence, I mean, let's look at the definition so you know. It's failing to protect a child in his or her care from inflicted physical, mental, or sexual injury caused by the acts of another. And if he allows her to put that child in danger, physically, mentally, sexually, any way, then he's as guilty as she is.
Yes.
So we can't let that happen. Now, as I said, Chad hasn't been listening, and before he comes out, I want to make it clear that we are as much here to wake him up as we are Lindsay. Chad told us that his wife is the love of his life and deserved not only a second chance, but his family's respect. Take a look.
I had no idea that my wife Lindsay was a heroin addict until she overdosed when she was 3 months pregnant with our son. I get the whole past thing, but you can't just forget like it never happened, because it did happen.
I'll never forget.
And then literally 24 hours, she did it again. I was absolutely furious. We just talked about how you did it last night, and you go ahead and do it again. Lindsay then revealed to me that she has a serious drug problem. I was at a crossroads. I couldn't just leave my wife. I had to help her. I took Lindsay back and forth to all those counseling meetings and all the drug counselors. Then my son was born addicted to heroin. This had to be rock bottom for Lindsay, because how can you get any worse than this? I'm here helping you. After everything that you've done
Right.
over and over again, I'm still here. Then one morning I woke up, my car was gone and my debit card was gone in my wallet. My wife was gone. Then I get a phone call that you don't want to get. My wife was in a 3-car accident while she was high on heroin with my 8-month-old son in the backseat of the car. My family was just ripped apart at that moment. The day after the accident, I filed for order of protection against her. I didn't speak to her for about 4 months after the arrest. 2 months ago, I dropped the order of protection against my wife. She had no place to live. I wasn't going to let the mother of my child roam the streets at all. I'm proud to say that she's exactly 6 months clean at this time. I know she's on the path to recovery. Lindsay deserves a second chance. My family needs to have more compassion for Lindsay, and they need to show her some respect. I'm a grown man, and at the end of the day, this is my family.
Your position is that clearly she's made some mistakes in the past, right?
Devastating mistakes.
And when she drove high on heroin with your child in the car, you said enough's enough, too much is too much. That was too much.
I had to step in as the father of my child.
Now, you knew she had been using before that, right?
Correct.
You say, and this is a quote, Lindsay is not a danger to my son anymore, and you leave your son alone at night with her while you work.
Correct.
Okay, so you trust her that much?
I do.
All right. Now, if you're wrong, the stakes could be pretty high because you've seen what happened when she drove with your son.
Absolutely.
Do you feel a divided loyalty here?
I'm torn from every angle. I'm the husband, I am the father of my child, and she's really put everyone in a bad position, especially me.
There is no divided loyalty here.
Okay.
You have 100% duty, 100% undivided loyalty to your child. Mm-hmm. There is no division of loyalty here. And you can say, well, but I'm married to her and this is my child. No, the child doesn't have a voice. The child doesn't have anyone to protect them. And it is criminal not to. So you think she's sober right now, 6 months sober right now?
I do.
You truly believe that?
I do.
Were you not with us at the airport?
Or yesterday? Like, I was scared for Caden to be with her, just running into you.
I put together just a few clips of our working with her. They're very brief, that I just want to share with you. Let's take a look.
I am, for once, taking my sobriety completely serious. I have overdosed 4 times in the past 6 years. I've admitted that I have made mistakes. I would always leave rehab feeling as if nothing was accomplished.
You feel safe with your son with that?
I feel embarrassed.
There you go. But do you feel safe with your child being with her like that?
I've always put my son first.
You did until you let her back into the home.
Do you feel safe with your son being...
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, let the man speak.
Sorry.
You want to be right or you want to be happy? Talk to me.
It's embarrassing to watch.
That speaks for itself, right?
It does.
Now, all right, we got to take a break. Now, Megan and Molly say that Chad has a pattern of being manipulated by troubled women. We'll talk about that after the break. Plus, I brought reinforcements. After the break, I'm going to introduce this family to someone I believe can help me turn this whole family drama around today and moving forward. We'll be right back.
Lindsay constantly claims that she's clean, but Lindsay saying that she's 6 months sober is Lindsay is telling my brother everything he wants to hear. She's a master manipulator. I wouldn't put it past Lindsay that she's still getting high right underneath my brother's nose. Lindsay is using my brother. She's burned every other bridge. She has nowhere else to go. Nobody else wants to deal with her.
He fooled everybody. Please don't let him have hurt somebody.
What did you do first?
My mother.
Why?
I wanted her here.
Evil Lives Here, all new season, Sunday, January 22nd at 9, followed by Signs of a Psychopath, all new season on ID.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men.
I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at?
Here we go. It just got real.
Turn it up now. Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we were going to bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage of denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated or getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes, Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I spent most of my life as a teacher, and I've always enjoyed helping others. After a couple of years in retirement, I realized I have a lot more to give, and that's when I became a Visiting Angels caregiver. With my life experience and love for people, it was a natural fit. Seeing Jeannie so happy warms my heart, and if you need your heart warmed too, come join us and make a difference together in someone's life.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
Save and invest when you're shopping this fall. Acorns rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar and invests your spare change. A pumpkin or 3, that's investing. The perfect Halloween costume? That's investing. A pie from scratch? That's investing. With Acorns, you can start investing with just your spare change.
Let the chips fall where they may. Tension's gonna fly.
Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well. If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing.
Okay, sweetheart.
Next.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Chad leads with his heart and not with his head.
He treats women like queens, and in return, they all over him. And they take advantage of him and then break his heart. And Lindsay's just doing the same thing. Chad gives Lindsay way too much.
I believe that all this stems from Chad being lonely and missing his family unit. In Chad's mind, I think he's trying to save Lindsay, but in the process, he's losing himself.
Now, I'd like to add my dear personal friend and world-renowned life coach, Mike Baer, to this conversation. Coach Mike is a legitimate change agent in people's lives in a really hands-on way. He can truly help anyone get from where they are today to where they want to be in every aspect of their lives. And I'm proud to call him friend and to have him part of the Dr.Phill team. And I'm also proud to announce that he has written a new book called Best Self, Be You, Only Better. And I consider this book to be a how-to manual to maximize your potential by discovering the best person that you can be. And I had to make a decision about when and where I wanted to announce this book. And I chose this show, this story, and your life to do this because you deserve what Mike brings to the table. Take a look.
My name is Mike Baer, but people call me Coach Mike. My calling is helping people find the freedom to be their best self.
He has experience, he's got credentials, he knows what he's doing, he has a whole team of life coaches. He works with everything from A-list celebrities to everyday folks.
The book, Best Self, Be You, Only Better, is a self-help book. This book is the last 15 years of all the magic I've been doing with my clients, and I'm just thrilled to be able to help other people. I am so excited about this book, and I'm immensely grateful and honored that Dr. Phill did the foreword for Best Self.
Coach Mike is a true professional, and Best Self is his Bible. It is the kind of book that leaves you significantly better than it found you. Within these pages, Mike will be your life coach, and along the journey, he will be your leader through a series of thoughtful and provocative questions as you examine every aspect of your life on your path to your best self.
I'm so humbled by the response to this book, and I hope that I can help everyone become their best self. I love what I do because I think seeing people change is remarkable.
Why did you write this book? Other than I talked you into it. I did, because I wanted him to share it with everybody.
Best Self is about helping people identify their problems, break free of their barriers, and get the life they want and deserve. And I was just doing it on a one-on-one basis with folks, and to be able to now have everything that I've done with people one-on-one in this book will allow me to help millions of people be their best selves. I'm your life coach in the book. And so by the end of the book, you'll be your own life coach. Because the goal is eventually to find that coach within and not need someone outside of yourself to help you.
Right, but you start out being their coach because I've read this. It's very action-oriented, and I've actually, you can see I've kind of marked this up a fair amount. what you do in here is you identify action steps, because think about it, guys, when you want to change, the first thing you do is you sit down and you go, well, where do I start? Willpower is a myth, right? It's not about willpower. It's not about emotion.
Willpower is a myth. You need the right tools, and we all have blind spots. And so what Best Self does is it helps you find your blind spots so you can really live the life you deserve.
You break the self down into two different parts, and this is what I want you to really listen to. You say there is a best self and another kind of self. Talk about that.
So I believe everyone at an authentic level is their best self. A best self is not codependent. A best self is not negative. A best self is pure, loving, honest, how we were created by God and put on this earth. That is our best self. Our anti-self is a story we've created over time, and we start to get characteristics of that. So for Chad, there's a codependent version of Chad that's getting in the way of his best self.
It starts with honesty, right?
You have to be honest to be your best self. I think the first step in what you say about honesty is how do we get you realigned with being your best self? Because that needs to start. We don't create relapses, we can't control what people do, and we can't change other people. We can only do that for ourselves.
There are 7 spheres that he talks about here. And Mike, when you look at these right now, the things that you and I talked about is you're talking about the relationship sphere and you're talking about the personal sphere. Because right now, you're not being honest in either of those 2 spheres, correct?
Chad's not being honest in either of those 2 spheres.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
And it's hard because why?
Through sickness and in health, when I said my vow. And it's really hard.
You know, what do we always say? Early intervention. That's the important thing, right? It's so important, early intervention. That's why you talk so much about honesty. Best self starts with being honest with yourself, because you can't change it if you don't tell yourself the truth.
You can't change it, and there's nowhere to go. You know, if we're not starting our foundation with being honest about ourselves and the people that are around us, the coaching session's done, because there's nowhere to go.
Lindsay insists that she is sober. And is Chad really willing to reclaim his best self, stop living in denial, and stand up to his wife in order to protect his son? That's all about living your best self. That's why I said this book was written with Chad in mind. So we're going to find out what happens after the break.
My husband's whole family doesn't give me the support that I need to fully recover. They are constantly criticizing me, judging me. They don't understand what I'm going through at all.
And later,
you have sitting in front of you someone that's been in recovery for so long. And did you say it's about choice?
But Chad, you gotta understand, I'm lucky because everyone did not enable. And what you're doing is you're enabling your life right now, and it's making it worse.
All these young, untimely deaths?
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something, how I hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
Sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back.
Then own them. And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Today, women with nighttime urinary incontinence don't have to wake up wet. Introducing the PureWick system, an innovative breakthrough system for managing female urinary incontinence at night.
Morning, Mom. Good morning. How did you sleep? Better, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, good.
The PureWick system works outside the body to draw urine away, helping to keep skin dry and control odor. The PureWick system is a non-invasive option for management of moderate to severe urinary incontinence. helping to reduce the need for multiple changes at night or trips to the bathroom. Now, staying dry can be one less thing to lose sleep over.
Call 800-705-8502 or go to purewicathome.com to see how you can save up to 10%. So call 800-705-8502 or go to purewicathome.com.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
He fooled everybody.
Please don't let him have hurt somebody.
What did you do first?
My mother.
Why?
I wanted her here. Evil Lives Here, all new season, Sunday, January 22nd at 9, followed by Signs of a Psychopath, all new season on ID.
When she moved back in the house, I told Lindsay that you gotta prove yourself. There were some guidelines that she had to follow. She has to be 100% sober. I will do a surprise search of her belongings, her purse, coat, Lindsay's phone, whatever it may be, because she needs to understand that she can't be hiding anything. Lindsay cannot even drink alcohol in this house. My guard is up more than ever, but I refuse to give up on my wife because she is the love of my life.
Well, Chad's mother, Molly, and sister Megan say that his wife, Lindsay, is a real danger to his son, and they cannot believe that he is choosing his lying, drug-addicted wife over the safety of his little boy. Take a look.
I am a recovering drug addict. I am currently 6 months sober. I am proud of myself, but my husband's whole family doesn't give me that support that I need to fully recover from heroin. When I say it's a disease, they don't want to hear it. They're like, no, it's not, it's a choice. They are constantly criticizing me, judging me. They don't understand what I'm going through at all, no. I didn't want to keep my addiction a secret from Chad. He accepted me at that point, and he said, I will be here to help you. I've admitted that I have made mistakes, and I have owned that. When I was 3 months pregnant, I relapsed. I overdosed, yes. It's such a selfish thing to do. The day of the car accident, I definitely was having a mental breakdown. My addiction took over, and I shut up. As I was driving home, there was an accident. My 8-month-old son, he was in the back seat.
Did you cause the accident?
I'm on the fence about it. Whatever happened with our situation, they just pinned it on me because they found drugs. After I was released from jail, I realized relapse is not an option for me anymore. My son needs me, and immediately checked myself into a 30-day treatment center. I completed 90 meetings in 90 days. Chad's family has never acknowledged my sobriety. They just bring up all the nasty things I've done.
Is she doing drugs now?
Not that I know of.
What explains her condition in these interviews?
I have no idea. All I know is that she does get medication for other things, whether it be anxiety. That's what she's claiming.
What do you think she hopes to get from being here?
I know she wants to get better. She wants to...
Well, if she's 6 months sober, what is it she needs to change?
She needs to be a better person, first and foremost. Be a better wife, be a better mother. She's got her work cut out for her.
You said she's hanging out with not so good of people?
I've always said that. I've always said
What's
that.
wrong with these people?
She thinks that they're friends, and I can smell a bad person from a mile away. And
she's getting ready to come out here, and we're going to talk to her. And you have to decide whether being straight with her and holding her feet to the fire and getting to the truth is betraying her or helping her. I want to know where you stand before she comes out here.
I don't think that doesn't look like she's sober right now.
Come on, the whole time, not just right now, the whole time she's been back in that house, not just right now. Be 100% honest, Chad, so we can work through this.
No, listen, I understand.
Is it painful to believe that she's not sober? So could it be that you're avoiding your pain, and that's why you don't want to get honest?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, every situation needs a hero, and the hero here is you being your best self. That's your hero.
And once we figure out what the pain is for you, it's not about her. That's your pain. You're carrying a lot of pain.
Got the weight of the world. It's on my shoulders, man. And it's hard. It's really hard. Because I'm getting pulled from every angle. I got my son, which is right there in the middle. I have my wife, who I said vows to through sickness and health. I have my family. I have her family.
And what I can say is, and I feel for you.
I'm in the middle of everything.
The difference is she gets to get high over her pain, and you're not.
You're suffering.
Yeah, you're suffering.
Next, Lindsay is here and insists she is 100% sober. She says if Chad's family were more educated about addiction, they wouldn't be so opinionated and critical of her. We're going to meet her after the break. I just want the truth. Are you sober for the last 6 months? Closed captioning provided by
You need to get over him now. They've been chopping me.
Johan and I are supposed to get married tomorrow, and I'm feeling really uneasy.
Yo no sé qué es tu intención.
Si tú tienes tu duda, no te cases.
90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Monday at 8 on TLC.
The biggest game happens before kickoff.
Are you ready to tailgate?
Who will fumble? Who will be the beast of the feast? All new NFL Tailgate Takedown, Wednesday night at 9 on Food Network. Set your DVR.
Let the chips fall where they may. There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse.
I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Enough can you prepare you for?
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
I've decided to go to rehab. I'm still here, bitches.
We got a big surprise. Gage is gonna be a big brother.
1,000-Pound Sisters, season premiere, January 17th at 9 on TLC.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules. You have no idea what loss is.
Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we was gonna bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage of denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated or getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn. You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Tension's gonna fly.
Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There's some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing.
Okay, sweetheart.
Next.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Lindsay's not being completely truthful about her drug addiction. She's conveniently omitting the fact that she's not just addicted to heroin. I believe she's also addicted to Xanax and Adderall. When Lindsay got in that car accident, on the officer's body cam, she admitted that she also did other drugs, meaning Adderall and Xanax. I was told that Lindsay was kicked out of a family member's house for possibly stealing medicine, Xanax, whatever they thought it was. Lindsay really needs to be honest with herself. Listen up, Buttercup. It's time to get it together.
Well, Lindsay, thanks for joining us. I want to know, do you want help for you and your family? And if so, how can I help you?
I need help with learning how to cope with my triggers when it comes to my addiction, and learning how to tell myself and be honest with the people that are close to me. Keep that open communication. I sometimes feel so judged based upon things or conversations I have with people, so I'm scared to reach out because I don't want to be looked down on.
I think you're fighting for your life and your family, and forget about those people. My dad used to say you wouldn't worry so much about what people thought of you if you knew how seldom they did. Mm-hmm. I mean, people aren't sitting around thinking about you every minute of every day. Mm-hmm. And as for me, I'm the least judgmental person you'll ever meet. The only thing I judge is people that lie to me. They lie to me. I have really short conversations because I put their butt right back in the car and send them right back to the airport. I just want the truth. Are you sober for the last 6 months?
For the last 6 months, no. I have struggled with prescription medication.
You've been abusing your prescriptions?
Abusing it, yes, correct. In the past, I was addicted and prescribed to Xanax. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was, in the past 6 months, I would have a couple of relapses.
Mm-hmm. On what?
On Xanax.
Where'd you get it, by the way?
From a doctor, a psychiatrist.
So you just Dr. Hop?
No. Just one doctor. It would be prescribed.
What would he say when you burned through the prescription so fast?
Didn't say anything. My addict mind knew how to manipulate him. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just what I could speak on myself. We know how to get into people's minds and change the situation.
What about your relationship with Chad has made you feel like you couldn't be honest with him about it?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm just down here and he's up here. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm always judged due to my past or things I've been through or been exposed to, and I'm just scared to open up more because I don't want to be looked at in any sort of way. I want to be realized and recognized for who I really am. Mm-hmm. So I want to give that a chance.
But your addict mind will justify things too, like you've taken care of your son when you're on Xanax.
Right.
And she's lied to you about it, so you now know the truth.
Yes.
And I wonder if you've really looked at yourself. I played a few clips for Chad that we've looked at. I want to play them for you now and see what you think about them.
I am for once taking my sobriety completely serious. I have overdosed 4 times in the past 6 years. I've admitted that I have made mistakes. I would always leave rehab feeling as if nothing was accomplished.
What do you think?
It just blows my mind how much control it has, and I can't recognize it until it's in my face like that.
I think you know what you're doing.
Right.
And I don't think you're that. I'm recovering 16 and a half years, so I know all about sobriety, all about recovery. It's not about what the addict does to you, it's about what choices you make. You can choose to be in recovery, or you can choose not to be in recovery. You know what you're doing. And the sad thing about the situation, which hopefully we can change, is because of your lack of honesty, that makes your husband less honest. Because what happens when you're in a relationship with someone who's addicted, you start to carry on those characteristics. It's just a dysfunctional setting for your son.
You said you've been in recovery for 17 years?
Yeah.
Here you have, and sitting in front of you, someone that's been in recovery for so long. And did you say it's about choice? Choosing?
But Chad, you gotta understand, I'm lucky because everyone did not enable me. And what you're doing is you're enabling your wife right now, and it's making it worse.
We've got to take a break, and you didn't hear before you came out, but Coach Mike has written a book called Best Self, Be You Only Better, and he talks about there being 2 selves, your best self and your anti-self. What he's saying is we've got 2 anti-selves over here enabling each other and trying to raise a child in the middle of it, and that's not okay, and it has to change. Lindsay claims the trauma from her dark and abusive past plays a huge role in her addiction. I have no doubt that it does, but what do you do about it other than self-medicate? We'll talk about that after the break.
Chad, you're obviously a nice guy. You seem lovable, likable. I can see why Lindsay would want to be with you, especially if she wants to get away with using drugs.
I know I'm lost.
Closed captioning provided by...
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're going to be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
The sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own them.
And again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
To Beth for telling us about Peptiva Nighttime Probiotics.
To Beth.
Welcome, ladies. You know, the best thing about Peptiva is that I can digest food like a kid again.
No, the best thing is that I get to sleep like a kid again.
Digestion.
Ladies.
With Peptiva, you get both.
Peptiva is the first doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night with key ingredients backed by 7 clinical studies. And right now, you can get a complimentary sample by texting CUBE to 369369. Peptiva works while you sleep to soothe indigestion, cramping, bloating, even constipation, while promoting digestive health. And it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Okay, girls, what do we have next week?
Tacos.
Wings. Chili.
Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary sample by texting CUBE to 369369. Text now, and we'll include a box of Peptiva digestive enzymes to help your body digest meals and avoid occasional gas and discomfort absolutely free. That's CUBE to 369369.
All these young, untimely deaths?
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something, how I hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules. You have no idea what loss is.
You need to get over here now. They've been chopping me.
My life has played a huge role in my addiction.
Lindsay told me she had a dark past. That was devastating.
When I was 16, I was raised. An ex-boyfriend of mine was very abusive. He started forcing me to do heroin. When I was sleeping one night, he actually injected me, and that was it from there.
Lindsay always blamed past relationships for her addiction. I don't buy that at all.
When my wife told me about her dark past, it really did make me fall in love with her even more because she was being so honest with me.
All right, we're back with Chad, and he says despite Lindsay putting their son's life in jeopardy and using heroin behind his back, she is still the love of his life, and he says she deserves a second chance. And I told him before you came out here that I agree with that. I told you I'm not trying to get you to fragment this family. And I had asked Coach Mike to be here today because he's written a new book, and I will shamelessly plug this new book because I think it is absolutely great. It does not assume that you have a mental illness. It just assumes you have goals and objectives that you want to achieve, and it talks about action plans. Coach Mike, but what do you think he needs to do to behave his way to success here?
So, I mean, operating from a place of honesty and operating out of what's best for your son, what do you believe your first step is?
It's my son.
Your son?
Every step of the way.
Okay. And so
how old is he now?
He's 14 months, just over one.
So he has no advocate other than you guys. I mean, you have to speak for him. He doesn't have his own voice. I mean, he can't stand up for himself. He can't say, you two settle down, straighten up, put me first. Mm-hmm. So you need to say it for him to yourself. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You said it very well.
Thank you.
Chad, you're obviously a nice guy. You seem lovable, likable. I can see why Lindsay would want to be with you, especially if she wants to get away with using drugs. First things first is we have to help figure out who are you and how do we start to get you back to being the man that you are.
Right.
Because that's how you're going to be the parent that you need to be. That's how you're going to be the husband you need to be. That's how you're going to be a part of this family like you need to be. Mm-hmm. And that should be the #1 priority. And it's going to take work.
I agree. I feel like I lose myself. I know I'm lost. Not that I'm completely lost, it's just I lose versions of the best self. I do.
And what are you willing to do to be your best self?
Whatever it takes.
And that's not easy. No. But, all right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk about Lindsay. We'll be right back. Your son deserves, your husband deserves, for you, once and for all, to make a serious commitment to get yourself right one time and do it to criteria.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Tension's gonna fly.
Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
So embarrassing. Okay, sweetheart. Next.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Monday. I've never done anything like this in my life. It is about living very basic.
No pizza, no food.
Pretty much.
David and Annie and Lauren and Alexi after the 90 days. Monday at 10 on TLC.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha. Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central. Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we was gonna bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage and denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated or getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I kneel before no one. I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
You need to be willing to bend the rules. You have no idea what loss is.
This is your chance. You keep her alive. Save her. You can save her.
You come this far, then you know what's out there.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Love can prepare you for that.
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
Megan, Molly, you guys have really been change agents here, and you're very supportive of this child. You're really supportive of Lindsay and Chad. You're just not supportive of fiction. You are the opposite of enablers, and that's why you feel judged, because they don't buy into the story. And God bless you for reaching out and getting here.
Thanks for having us.
I really mean that. And Lindsay, this is not a one-dimensional situation. I think this is a self-medication thing for you, and people oftentimes start things for one reason and continue them for another. I think you may have started drugs for one reason, now you do them for a lot of different reasons, but you clearly, to me, are not sober, you're very fragile, and I think that you deserve, and your son deserves, your husband deserves, for you, once and for all, to make a serious commitment to get yourself right one time and do it to criteria. And towards that end, I have asked Laura Martinez to join us today. She is the director for Origins Behavioral Healthcare, and I consider Origins to be the nation's leading dual diagnosis treatment center, and they specialize in the treatment of addiction and trauma and other psychological disorders. So Laura, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Can you help her?
We definitely can help her. For Lindsay, it's imperative that we work on the addiction issues,
but most importantly, the trauma underneath the addiction. We can give you the best possible outcome to true long-term sobriety.
So I am prepared to offer this program to you as our gift to your family if you're willing to lean into it and commit yourself to it in an unmitigated fashion. Are you willing to do that? Closed captioning provided by
Monday.
I've never done anything like this in my life. It is about living very basic.
No pizza, no food.
Pretty much.
David and Annie and Lauren and Alexi after the 90 days. Monday at 10 on TLC.
Why me, huh?
Why not you?
Listen to the thunder.
I've decided to go to rehab. I'm still here, bitches.
We got a big surprise. Gage is going to be a big brother.
1,000-Pound Sisters. Season premiere, January 17th at 9 on TLC.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men.
I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at? Here we go.
It just got real.
Turn it up now.
All these young, untimely deaths.
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something. Oh, I hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series, Monday, January 16th at 9 on ID.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
Let the chips fall where they may.
There are some things that I've heard.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
He fooled everybody. Please don't let him have hurt somebody.
What did you do first?
My mother.
Why?
Because I wanted her to hear.
Evil Lives Here, all new season, Sunday, January 22nd at 9, followed by Signs of a Psychopath, all new season on ID.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open bud.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville, new reunion, part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
Sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back.
Then own that. I don't talk that again and again and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I am prepared to offer this program to you as our gift to your family if you're willing to lean into it and commit yourself to it in an unmitigated fashion. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, of course.
All right. Okay. And Chad, there are some things that you need to do in terms of working towards your best self. And, you know, Coach Mike, I'm going to suggest that you start with having him work through best self, be you only better. And then, if you can, get him a life coach from Cass Centers right here in LA, which is your treatment center and organization. So while she's gone doing what she needs to do, we can get him out of his anti-self and into his best self. Can we do that?
We can do that.
All right. All right, look, I want to thank my guests today. A special thanks to Origins Behavioral Health Care, and a special thanks to Coach Mike Baer. His book, Best Self, Be You Only Better, is available everywhere books are sold, and everyone in the audience is going home with a copy. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, Ted.